Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's your boy McKinley Crain here, and today I'm going to be doing my second part of my spoiler review for the new John Wick movie, John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. So where we left off is, alright, so he's back in New York. He's just back up in New York. He has to kill a whole bunch of assassins because nobody knows he's like reunited on the high table, I guess. Yet. And basically what he's actually running from is the high table, and the main villain is like this one lady who wants to like kill John Wick and everybody who helped him in the second one, which in the king in the middle of the movie, the king who helped John Wick and gave him 7 rounds, literally only 7 rounds, gets punished, and all his men get slain, well, killed, you know. All his like workers / pretend homeless dudes who like pretend to be homeless and get money, and that's how he makes his money. Like, he's just like, he is legit just so calm while they're doing this, and she's like, all right, we get it, I get it. And then like, she's just like, as I recall, the lady was just like, as I recall, you gave John Wick 7 rounds. And he's just like, he was still pretty cool. And then like, he was just like, he said like, yeah, basically. I think that's what he said. I think he didn't deny it. Hold on, my memory's a little blurry of that scene. But like, she was just like, since you gave John Wick 7 rounds, I will give you 7 cuts. And it wasn't just like ching ching ching. It was like with a katana, like slit, ching ching. And it's just like, before the king doesn't die, he's not actually a king, but you know, he calls himself that. But before that, he says, "Long live the king," and literally like, shoo, choo, choo, choo. It's like cuts across his face, like ooh, like and like, all right. So back to the main part where we were at. All right, so he shows back up, and he's fighting this like the leader of this squad of assassins, and like, what? John Wick is just about to die, but then John Wick sees something, and like, he just grabs onto, like, he puts his arm onto the stairs of like the commandant, or like the communicano grounds or whatever, and then like, he can't kill him. The assassin's about to kill him, and then like, the assistant guy to like the Mr. Winchester, like whatever, comes out and says, "You can't kill anybody on these grounds." And then like, John Wick's just like, "I gotta see your manager." And then like, he's just like, "Right this way, sir," or something like that, or just like, "Yes," I forgot what he said exactly. What he exactly said, but you know, same thing. And then like, basically, they just have to wait on the couch, and the assassin's guy is just like kind of praising John Wick, saying that he always wanted to meet him and he looked up to him. And then he said like, "We're the same." And then John Wick was just like, "No, we're not. We're not the same." And then he was just like, he says this in like Japanese, I think, but there were like subtitles. "We are both men of death." Stuff like that. And legit. So John Wick comes up, and then like, Mr. Winchester, like whatever, which is like, "Oh, I suppose you've come here to kill me." And then like, he convinces John Wick not to kill him, because like, you know, it would like kind of ruin his legacy. But then the main villain from the high table shows up, and she's just like, guess what she did? She had basically like, so this was like Communicano grounds, so like, come on, what the, I can't remember the name. But like, they weren't communicado grounds. Let's just call them communicado grounds, because I can't remember the exact name for them. These aren't those grounds anymore. So, and she came up to the assassin dude, and she was just like, you can continue your business now. And she was just like, oh, we'll aid you. We'll give you support. And so basically, like, John Wick is just like stuck with his friend, and he's just like, I need stuff. And like, they were just like, well, what exactly do you need? And this is the most famous John Wick quote of all time. It just really is. I think he said it in every movie. Wait, I know he said it in the second one. I know he said it in the third one. I think he said it in the first one. But he said, I need guns. Lots of guns. So basically he gets lots of guns. He goes out there. He legit just like whoops some serious ace. And basically he ends up winning. He ends up like fighting legit. The action scenes are awesome in this movie. I loved it. And so basically, John Wick kills the assassin, the main assassin eventually. Oh, and he uses a belt to protect himself for a while. And then, like, the Mr. Winchester or Mr. Wickster, I don't even know his name, said, how about like, he agreed with the fat lady to like just have a parlay. I think that's what it's called. Which is like a gamble. And she was just like, oh, a parlay would be fine. And then they go, and then like he actually like Mr. Winchester or whatever actually takes his spot, is offered his spot back in the high table, and he takes his spot back, and then she was just like, what about John Wick? And then like Mr. Winchester shoots John Wick off the building, and John Wick survives. And then like no one knows if like, I don't know if it was actually a betrayal or what, was it just part of like Mr. Winchester's plan or whatever, and he knew it was for John's own good. He knew he would survive. I think he did say at the end scene, how long do you think it's going to take him to recover? Like, it was all part of his plan like Doctor Strange kind of Infinity War, like it was the only way, giving up the Infinity Stone for like the greater good, because he had seen the vision, like, you know, kind of like that. Or did he just betray him on purpose? But John Wick gets found by like a couple of the King's workers, and the King's alive. And then the ending scene is just awesome, and it sets you up for John Wick Chapter 4, legit. It's just like, the guy was just like, ooh, the King was just like, ooh, you look bad. You look just as bad as I thought you would. And he was just like, he says he's really, the King was just like, I don't know about you, John, but I'm really pissed. And he's like, what about you, John? You pissed? And then like, the last thing that John Wick says in the movie is, this is after he just lifts up his head when he's lying face forward on the ground. He says, yeah, I'm pissed. And then that's just basically a whole summary of the movie. Yeah, that's the ending scene. Anyway, I love this movie. I would give it a 100% best John Wick film so far. A 100% is equal to an A+ in my opinion. This is one of the best films of 2019 so far. Like my video, subscribe to my channel. Watch more of my videos, comment down below what you thought of this movie. And if you think that it was just all a setup when Mr. Winchester or whatever shot John Wick, or was it actually betrayal? And subscribe and get notified. I will